With a population of 35 million people, Uganda is one of the poorest nations in Africa. Two things have all but destroyed the soul of this nation. One is the HIV/AIDS virus, the other a brutal civil war. From 1988 to 2006, the Lord's Resistance Army led by Joseph Kony perpetrated crimes of mass murder, mutilation and abductions in the country's north. Kony's tactics were, and remain to be, brutal. At the height of the conflict, 1.7 million people sought refuge in government-run camps for internally displaced persons. Today, less than 30,000 people still remain in these IDPs. However, the country's north is left to recover from the ashes and trauma of war. In this conflict, it was the children that paid a terrible price. Many orphaned, many more kidnapped and forced to become sex slaves or child soldiers. A survey in 2006 estimated that as many as 66,000 children had been taken, and of those, 76% had witnessed a killing, 43% forced to kill, and 27% never returned. Yet it was into this despair that Irene Gleeson decided to come and bring hope to a generation.
I visited Africa once in 1988, and then I saw, oh my goodness, the Africans are really suffering. It's a country at war, too much poverty, too much pain, and God began to work in my heart and say, now that your children are growing up, you go to Africa. I wanted to go somewhere where no one else would go. So I virtually said, I arrived here in Uganda and I said, where is the toughest part? And they said, well, nobody is up in the north and there's still war up on the Sudan border. So the first time I didn't have my caravan here, it hadn't been shipped over. So I just got on a bus and travelled all the way up to as far as the bus went in North Uganda. And that was a place called Kitgum. So my caravan eventually came from Australia and I towed it up here, and the council gave me 18 acres of land for an orphan school. So I just towed the caravan into the middle of this 18 acres of bush, scrub. I don't know how I thought I was going to survive. No electricity, no water, no food. And I just parked my caravan under a tree and attempted to live. Every day, the children started gathering around me, all the war-traumatized children. They were like zombies. They had no laughter, they had no song in their heart. They were just staring at this white lady and wondering why she had come to park her caravan in the middle of such an isolated war zone. I began to teach them to sing and teach them reading and writing, just writing in the dust. Then I saw that they were hungry. I saw them, they were sick with lice and scabies, ringworm, worms in their belly. They were actually a physical mess. So I began to buy tablets, medicine for them, for the malaria. I began to treat them. Then I began to cook tomatoes and beans and maize for them, and I began a feeding program.
Today, over 8,000 children find themselves in IGF schools in over 4 different locations, where they are given access to education, food, water, medicine and counselling, doorways to a future otherwise closed to them within the IDP camps. Daily nutritional feeding, unavailable in other schools, builds a foundation for academic and physical success. These children have high school and vocational training options to equip and prepare them to reach their full potential.
Without our vocational school here, there's absolutely nothing for them to do except become criminals and thugs. Many of them learnt about using the gun in the war, and that's what they would do, just take up a gun and take what they want. But here we're teaching them building or carpentry or sewing or computers. I was just thinking about building, how they've built that big 3-story building. And I mean, that is an example to any of them what they can do.
IGF builds and equips a clinic at each school, staffed by 2 nurses. They give free consultation and medicine to over 200 students and staff daily. On-site medical clinics catch illness before they become serious. Nurses often locating cases of tuberculosis, gangrene, AIDS infection, and referred these children for further treatment. An AIDS hospice, radio stations, hospitals and churches provide interface and hope to the wider population of northern Uganda.
Yeah, the thing about the project that I found, which was so amazing, having travelled to many different countries, is the project provided a complete solution. When you look at a lot of other charities, what they tend to do is they'll specialise. They'll specialise in water and sanitation, or they'll specialise in education, or they'll specialise in providing hope for people who don't have shelter. Irene basically provided everything at the one location. And why it's so amazing is because it was almost like she had 8,000 of her own kids. You very rarely will find any other charities in the world that will actually be so committed to making a difference. What they'll tend to do is that they'll provide a part of the solution. What Irene's provided was a complete solution, and that makes a significant difference in terms of every single person she touched.
At 3:41, Monday, July 21, 2013, after a year-long battle with cancer, Mama Irene Gleeson went home peacefully and beautifully to join the Lord. Over 10,000 people attended her memorial.
The work that Mama Irene spent a third of her life doing in Uganda will continue. Her vision is alive, and we are committed to carry it forward and do even better. Mama raised and mentored and prepared an excellent team of leaders. They are not just trained and experienced, but they are full of integrity and humility. The vision of Mama Irene lives on, and her legacy will continue to inspire many.
My name is John Paul Kefasi. I am 34 years old. And I joined Irene Gleeson Foundation in early 2000. So I've worked there for about over 13 years now. We are able to do what we do, even in the absence of Mama Irene, because she trained us to do that. She instilled the heart of servanthood in us. She instilled godly character, in us. And the integrity we carry forward, the selflessness we carry forward, the servant's heart and trusting God that we do, we learned all of it from her over the years as she lifted us and trained us.
Would I do it all again? Definitely yes. The sacrifices have been worth it, but I think the best thing was my walk with the Lord is so close. That's why I have no fear at all of going up to be with him very soon. And unfortunately, you meet Jesus amongst the least. So when something is very physically uncomfortable, that's when spiritually it's the best. And that's what I've learnt. Is you want to be close to Jesus, you want to be in his presence all the time, well, go where the least of his brothers are and get in amongst them, and you'll be walking hand in hand with him. So that's been the best thing of my life, 22 years.
The vast majority of our donations is through child sponsorship. We want you to know that we take every care with every dollar that we receive. We know how important it is to spend it wisely and stretch it as far as we can. The funding gets to the program, I can assure you, and gets to the children that need it and provides the services that they really require. We also partner with Global Development Group, and they work in partnership with us, helping to plan, monitor and evaluate the projects that we run. So any of the tax deductible projects that you're giving your money to, is covered by an extra set of eyes through GDG. We get their input and help in the process. Our sponsorship program is only $35 a month, so for just over $1 a day, which is fully tax deductible, we can help change a life. Our sponsorship program includes primary education. We've got 4 primary schools. As part of that, we offer a feeding program for the children. We also provide vocational education, which gives them an opportunity to learn skills that they will be able to use. We also have a medical program to provide medical care for the children. We currently have 4,000 children in the program which still need sponsorship, so we're very keen to find people who are willing to sponsor. And without our sponsors, we wouldn't have a program. So we really would encourage everyone to consider taking up sponsorship, because that is the lifeblood of our program and we need your assistance.
Let us gather in the other 100,000 children.